Hello everyone, I'm Lawrence Lim, founder and CEO of Lighting Recipe Studio.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Chao, General Manager of Prosperity Group and CEO of Traxon EQ.
Today we are not just here to talk about a partnership. We want to address a much bigger question. At a time when the market is talking about healthy lighting, human-centric design, and smart spaces, how do we turn those ideas into solutions that are operational, verifiable, and continuously optimizable? Hi, Jack. Before we get into today's main topic, I think it is important to talk about how this calibration began. What we are doing today did not come out of nowhere. Back when I was serving as CEO of LabVans, there was already a long-standing relationship between Osram, LabVans, and the Prosperity Group. Because of the history, we stay in close contact over the years and continue to exchange views and how the light industry was evolving, where it was changing, and what changes were emerging. Later, each of us moved forward along our own path. The Prosperity Group acquired Traxon technology and EQ brands from Osram and integrated the general lighting business. And while I founded Lighting Recipe Studio, although our roles changed, in many ways we were still responding the same question: where should lighting go next? So to me, what we are doing today is not just a new partnership. It was also a natural and meaningful continuation of long-standing industry connection. From your perspective, why is Traxon willing to move forward with Lighting Recipe Studio at this moment?
I completely agree. The strongest partnerships are rarely built on a single business opportunity alone. They are built on long-term understanding and trust. For us, this deeper collaboration with Lighting Recipe Studio is not starting from zero. It is built on years of industry dialogue and mutual understanding. More importantly, the market itself has changed. People are no longer looking simply for better products or for more flexible controls. They are looking for a higher level of value. How can light truly respond to human needs? And how can a system become not only controllable, but also verifiable, optimizable, and capable of creating value over time? In that context, we believe that this collaboration between Traxon EQ and Light Recipe Studio is not only timely, but also very forward-looking. The Traxon EQ portfolio has long been a highly respected brand in the field of the architectural lighting and the dynamic lighting. But the market is changing. Today, the conversation is no longer just about illuminating the space. It is about how light can truly respond to people. From your perspective, why is the right moment for Traxon EQ to take this next step? Actually, I see this as a natural stage of market maturity. In the past, many lighting projects focus primarily just on visual effect, on efficiency, on control, on aesthetics. These things still matter, but today I think clients in the market are asking more deeper questions. Beyond just looking good, does the space actually serve the people who are using it? Does it support their work, their rest, their circadian rhythm, emotion, their experience, and even better, operation? For Traxon EQ, we do not think and we do not want to stop at controllable light. We want to move toward light that can just understand people, respond to context, and be validated in terms of its actual impact. That is why we believe this is the right moment. Combine Traxon EQ's strengths in systems and controls and in scene execution with Light Recipe Studio's strengths in human factor, in sensing, spatial models, and verification methods.
The market sees many so-called strategic partnerships, but quite often they remain at a level of co-branding, technical docking, or just an announcement. In your view, what makes the calibration between Traxon EQ
and the Lighting Recipe Studio genuinely different?
I think the biggest difference is that this collaboration is not just about adding one more feature. It's about building a brand new capability. We're not simply plugging a sensor into a system, and we are not just adding a few healthy lighting scenes into an existing controls platform. What we are really trying to do is bring 4 dimensions into the operational logic of lighting in a systematic way. People, space, time, and activity. I think what Lighting Recipe Studio brings is not just a measurement tool or an algorithm. It brings a brand new framework for understanding how light affects people, how it should be defined in different spaces, and how it should be monitored and how it should be adjusted. And our role, Traxon EQ's role, is to translate this framework through our lighting management system using Symphony into something that can be executed, managed, and continuously optimized in real-life projects. So the core of this collaboration is not just technology, it's about bringing meaningful technology together.
I often said that what will matter in the future is not just luminaires or controls, but whether we can create a verifiable spatial service capability. How do you see that? Why is verification so important to Traxon EQ?
I think the market is moving from just claiming to proving. In the past, it may have been just enough to say, oh, this is a healthy lighting solution. This is a human-centric system. And that scene is better for users. But I think going forward, owners, designers, and operators will ask this main question. What is the basis for that? And how do we prove it? And how do we monitor it and improve it consistently over time? This is one of the reasons why Lighting Recipe Studio is very important to us. It's not just about advocating concepts. It's about building methods for measurement, for sensing, modeling, and verification. When these capabilities are combined with our Traxon EQ platform, good light is no longer something that can only be designed. It becomes something that can be seen, can be managed, and can be improved. And that matters greatly when we talk about the market and how we communicate with the market, as well as it allows us to move from abstract language to evidence-based value. Many people associate Lighting Recipe Studio with healthy light, human-centric lighting, research, and standards advocacy. But if you had to explain it clearly to the market what role Lighting Recipe Studio plays in this collaboration, how would you describe it?
I would say very clearly that Lighting Recipe Studio is not here to become another luminaire brand, nor are we here simply to provide theory. What we do is translate the understanding of the human relevant light environment into the capability that a system can actually use. That includes several layers. First, measurement and sensing. We need to know what is actually happening in the space. Second, spatial models and human factors models. Not every space should use the same kind of light, and not every person responds to the light in the same way. So we need to integrate the people, space, time, and the intended activity. Third, the verification and the optimization. A truly good system is not one that is configured once and left alone. It is one that can learn and adjust over time. So, in the collaboration, the role of Lighting Recipe Studio is to provide the technical foundation and allow Traxon EQ system to better understand the more meaningful light for people actually means. To take it more concrete, when Traxon EQ Simple Link system is combined with Lighting Recipe Studio's sensing algorithm and the spatial models, what is the biggest changes for customers?
I think the biggest change is the shift from just scene control to evidence-based space operation. Traditional control systems can switch brightness or color temperature, schedules, and preset scenes. But with Lighting Recipe Studios integrated into our system, what we are aiming for is something more advanced. A system that not just executes commands, but better understands the current use of space, the needs of the people in that space, and whether the lighting environment is actually achieving the intended outcome. That means customers now move from just we can control light to we can operate light with purpose. This would be highly valuable in office, in healthcare, in education, hospitality, transportation hubs, and premium commercial environments, because it shifts lighting from just equipment logic to operational logic. From a market perspective, what do you think is the most important signal that this collaboration sends to the industry?
To me, the most important signal is very clear. The next step of healthy light is not more slogans. It's more complete system capability. This industry has already done a great deal from the advocacy and the controls to design and the digitalization. All of that matters, but if we truly want to move forward to the next generation of lighting value, we cannot only talk about the product, and we cannot only talk about the standard clauses, but we need to build a capability that truly connect science, design, systems, and on-site verification. The fact that Traxon EQ is willing to step forward at this moment, in my view, very meaningful, because it shows that a mature system brand is choosing to engage with the future rather than staying only within the language of the past success. So I would say this is not just the technical integration, it is also a step above where the industry needs to go next. If designers, owners, system integrators, or partners are watching this video, what would you most like to say to them?
What I would most like to say is this: the future of lighting would not be defined only by hardware, nor will it be defined only by software. In the end, it will be defined by whether it creates real value. We hope that this collaboration gives the market confidence that lighting can just be more intelligent and more human at the same time. It can be more controllable and more verifiable. It can be more design-driven and more closely aligned with real user needs. We are very, very much looking forward to working with forward-thinking the owners, designers, and partners to turn this into a real deployable case. If you had to summarize the collaboration between Lighting Recipe Studio and Traxon EQ in one sentence, what would it be?
I would say this is not about making light more complicated. It is about helping light finally understand people. And Jack, if you had to put it into one sentence,
I would say this is the next step in making visionary light operational, measurable, and value creating.
What we are looking for is not just to make a healthy light sound more appealing, but to make it truly implementable, verifiable, and continuously optimizable.
And that is exactly the future we want to help to build together.
Thank you, Jack. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Lawrence. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.